Air connectivity is of critical importance to economic growth and cultural exchange. In 2016, the UK House of Commons Transport Committee released a report urging the government to invest in airport capacity immediately, either in the London Heathrow Airport or the Gatwick Airport. The committee requested immediate action by the government because it worries the air connectivity of London and the UK. The committee argued that the growth of large hubs in the Middle and Far East and North America has threatened the UK's position as an international aviation hub. For example, in 2014, Dubai became the world's biggest airport in terms of international passenger traffic, ahead of Heathrow. The committee also worried about UK's connectivity with the world's emerging market. One of the studies shows that a new daily service to one of the key growth markets could generate up to £128 million of additional trade. If additional airport capacity is not operational until 2030, the UK could lose as much as £5 billion per year in lost trade to the BRIC economies alone. Finally, the committee worries that the lack of capacity also reduced domestic connectivity. With capacity expansion, Heathrow could add 40 new destinations. If London, a city with 5 airports, needs to worry about connectivity, other nations should also prepare for future challenges. There are also opportunities. Who would think of making a connection via Dubai 30 years ago? In 1934, the airport handled only 1 million passengers. With the right policy in trade and transport, the city's passenger volume increased by more than 400% in just 6 years and has become the third largest airport in the world and generates hundreds of thousands of jobs. That's why we believe it's important for countries in Central Asia to find ways to improve their air connectivity. Because the One Belt, One Road initiative proposed in 2013 in Kazakhstan and Indonesia, we particularly examined the aviation market and the liberalization potential between China and the 5 countries in Central Asia. Since 2006, international traffic in the region has been growing steadily, from 1.5 million one-way passengers to more than 4 million in 2015. That is, traffic volume more than doubled overall. Still, this region is not achieving its full potential. This table compares the number of routes between Central Asia to Russia as of year 2015. Although many historical, political, and cultural factors played important roles in promoting air travel to Russia, considering the fact that China has become the world's largest aviation market as early as in 2005, there seemed to be insufficient air connectivity from Central Asia to China, the world's largest trade nation. In addition, travel cost to China is much higher than to most other regions. As of 2015, on average, it cost 60 cents in US dollars to fly one passenger for 1 kilometers on routes from Central Asia to China. In comparison, it cost about 9 cents on routes to Russia, 11 cents to India, less than 10 cents to Germany, less than 12 cents to UK. Our study suggests that much of the problems are due to tight regulation on the international market, especially those between Central Asia and China. Our investigation suggests that if routes to China were under similar circumstances as those to previous Soviet Union countries, on average, the chances of air services on those routes to China would be 48 to 78% higher. If routes to China were under similar conditions as those to other international markets such as Germany, UK, Thailand, etc., on average, the chances of route services will be 27% higher. Currently, only 3 cities in China have direct air services to Central Asia, which are Beijing, Urumqi, and the limited services to Sanya. If the Central Asia to China market can be liberalized to the extent as those to Germany, UK, Thailand, etc., our study suggests that there will be direct service to Chinese cities such as Chengdu, Guangzhou, Chongqing, Xi'an, and Shanghai, That is, connectivity may be doubled or even tripled. In summary, our study suggests that the Central Asia to Chinese markets have been underdeveloped and falling behind services within Central Asia to Russia and the former Soviet Union countries, and also route to many EU and Middle East countries. If China and Central Asian market could achieve comparable liberalization status as the above-mentioned market, there will be significant improvement in connectivity. With increased competition, we expect price to fall, frequency and service quality to rise. This will create a positive feedback, attracting more airlines and passengers to the market. We understand the country's concerns of liberalization. Will my airline get a larger market share? Will my airline survive the competition? For many years, airlines in Korea worried about the same issue, and the Korean government was reluctant to open its skies to airlines in the United States. They were almost forced to liberalize with the US after the Asian financial crisis. Although Korean airlines did have a hard time early on, within just a few years, they captured more than 60% of the market share in the Korean-US market. Canadian Airlines had similar fears when Canada and the US negotiated the Open Sky Agreement in the 1990s. The two countries finally found a solution. United States will first open its skies to Canadian airlines, but airlines in Canada can have several years protection in key aviation market. So it's possible to find solutions, and it's very hard to make your own airlines globally competitive by protecting them forever. We need a clear timetable to move ahead. Finally, policymakers need to think beyond just airlines. Jeju Island was the second least developed province in Korea, and the government tried to support it, including liberalizing its skies unilaterally. Today, the Seoul Gimpo Airport to Jeju Island route is the busiest air route in the world, with more than 2,500 flights a week. The Jeju Development Institute estimated that in 2014 alone, aviation services brought in more than 2 million foreign visitors and brought more than 3.5 billion US dollars to the province. Land price increased by more than 5 times in residential areas in just 5 years. Air connectivity means a lot to the country, not just airlines. It is time for countries in the region to think strategically and promote growth in economy and improve communications.